Dana Bash in Washington, where the state of our union is breathing a sigh of relief. Congress narrowly avoided shutting down the government for the holidays this year, but raised questions about how Washington will function under President-elect Donald Trump's second term, after Trump and Elon Musk blew up a bipartisan deal to fund the government days before the deadline. And then hardline Republicans in the House refused Trump's demand to raise the nation's borrowing limit. It was an extraordinary rebuke of the incoming president by his own party and a warning about House Speaker Mike Johnson's daunting task, corralling a very small but unruly majority to stick together to pass Trump's agenda. Here with me now is a close ally of Donald Trump, Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee. Thank you so much for being here. Sir, first question is, have you spoken with President-elect Trump about what occurred, and is he happy in the end with how it played out?
Dan, as I mentioned a bit ago when we were talking before the set started, I just walked off the floor of the Senate at 2 a.m. yesterday morning. I'm fortunate to have gotten back home to Tennessee, but I have not had a chance to speak with President Trump at this point.
Understandable, given what you just described and what we all witnessed, but also given the fact that you know him well and you understand what he was going for. The final spending bill that you all approved did not have any new spending cuts. It didn't include the debt limit increase that Donald Trump was demanding. So what did he accomplish with all of this?
Well, the main thing, and I can share with you my perspective on it, Dana, is this. We have had our appropriations bills on the floor of the United States Senate since this past summer. Chuck Schumer has refused to bring them forward. This is a typical Washington process where we wind up with a work product that the American public can't possibly understand. They dumped over 1,500 pages on us. And Elon Musk, using the tool of Twitter, brought transparency to the entirety of it. The American public were shocked. We are always shocked when we see these types of monstrosities at the last minute that haven't been properly vetted. And President Trump was able to bring his weight to the table and say, look, this has got to stop, this has got to be skinnied down, this has got to change. My overarching goal coming into this was to make certain that the government didn't shut down, because President Trump over the next 30 days needs to be able to process his nominees. We need to be able to put him in place to get to work on January the 20th, because 3/4 of the American public feel that the United States is on the wrong track right now. So I appreciate the fact that Elon Musk made this transparent and that we were able to actually improve this. We didn't get everything we wanted. Certainly I didn't, but we're in a better place now because we're going to be in a position to make certain that President Trump is ready to go on day one.
Senator, on Wednesday, Trump said that any Republican, quote, stupid enough to vote for a clean continuing resolution, one without raising the debt limit, quote, should and will be primaried. But in the end, 170 House Republicans, 37 Senate Republicans, including you, did exactly that. Now, it goes without saying, Donald Trump is more popular than he's ever been, and he tried to use his political capital on this, and it failed. So what does that say about his grip on your party, and more importantly, his ability to get his agenda over the line in a couple of weeks when he takes office?
I'm sure Mike Johnson did everything he could to try to accomplish the elimination of the debt ceiling, or at least to push it out a long way, because here's what the debt ceiling has become, Dana. It's a cudgel. It's a tool that the other side uses to extract pain. And what we're going to be dealing with is a Democrat minority that's going to use this as a means, frankly, to raise spending in order for us to increase the debt ceiling. That's precisely the opposite of what President Trump wants to do. I think what it does is it puts the onus on us very quickly to get to work on a work product that will actually cut spending at the same time it would increase the debt ceiling. That would satisfy the Republicans in the House of Representatives, as I understand it. That will be a way that we can move forward and get this addressed. But President Trump has certainly shown the light of day on the difficulties associated with this debt ceiling. But again, I want to see him in office. I want to see his cabinet members in place. That's got to happen on the 20th of January. That's the key reason that I supported getting this continuing resolution over the line.
He made a very specific threat in that quote I read to you about people who vote to fund the government without increasing the debt ceiling should be primaried. Will he follow through on that? Someone like you and all of the Republicans in the House, should they be concerned?
Well, I certainly think we have an opportunity to fix the situation, but that's going to take place in the early part of next year as we come into the reconciliation process.
So no primary challenges? You think he didn't really mean it?
I'm not saying he didn't mean it, but I see he highlighted the concern about the debt ceiling. I think everybody appreciates that right now, and I think we're going to be razor focused on addressing that. There's a means to do this during the reconciliation process, and it puts a great deal of pressure on the Republicans in the House and in the Senate to make certain that we get to work together, and I look forward to doing that. You know, the interesting thing about this entire process, though, is President Trump has been extremely involved in it, but where was President Biden? The sitting president was not engaged with us at all in this process. And as it unfolded, the American public must have wondered, where is our president? Then the Wall Street Journal breaks the fact that I guess the greatest, or one of the greatest media malpractice stories of our lifetime has taken place, the cover-up of Joe Biden. I guess we understand now why he hasn't been around, but this is just amazing that the White House and the president weren't even engaged with us in this entire process.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk to one of President Biden's allies in a bit, and I'm guessing you would agree with one of the old political adages, which is that when your opponent is fighting amongst themselves, you get out of the way. But let's just stick with the whole question of Elon Musk for a minute, because you said something really interesting. You said that he allowed for transparency when he put on social media. He actually did it at 4:15 a.m. on Wednesday. And what he specifically posted was, quote, "This bill should not pass." And then, Senator, he posted 75 times over the course of that day, attacking the bill, pressuring Republicans to tank it. Donald Trump didn't weigh in publicly for more than 12 hours and only did so after it was clear Republicans were following Elon Musk's lead and turning on the bill. So did Donald Trump only pick this fight because Elon Musk backed him into a corner?
I certainly wouldn't say that, and I say thank God Elon Musk bought Twitter, because that's the only way we would even know what's in this bill. Otherwise, the conspiracy between the government and Twitter would have continued, and this would have all been covered up. But the fact is that Elon Musk exposing this meant that every one of our offices was inundated with calls from our constituents. The American public wanted to see this change. Donald Trump was speaking on behalf of the American public. Again, he's just the president-elect. The current president is AWOL, but Donald Trump stepped up and said, look, this is what needs to happen. And I think all of my constituents were there, or the calls at least that I got in my office. Elon Musk's transparency helped make that happen.
Well, I think as a senator voting, I presume that you do your best to read the bills that you're voting on. I understand it was quite large at the beginning, but to say that it was only Elon Musk that made people aware of what was in it, that can't be true.
No, I'm not saying it was only Elon Musk. We're all struggling to read it, to digest an over 1,500-page bill that we were literally given just hours to comb through. I was working through it. My staff didn't sleep the night before. It's extraordinarily frustrating. But I think the added weight of the American public understanding it, and a simple picture that Elon Musk put forward showing the size of the stack of what we originally presented. We started out with over 1,500 pages. We got it down to 120 pages. Still, it's not what I would have liked to have seen in terms of a final work product, but it gets the president's cabinet back in place. It certainly gets much needed aid to the people of East Tennessee who've suffered dramatically from the floods. That should have taken place earlier, but unfortunately it got attached to this tool. We needed to get this passed. We need to get President Trump's team in place and in office. And at the end of the day, we had a better product than we started with. And I appreciate that, and Elon Musk's role in that was significant.
So just to put a button on that, I'm sure you've seen and heard Democrats are mockingly suggesting that Elon Musk is the one calling the shots. He questioning who the president-elect really is, to the point where Donald Trump's press secretary issued a statement on Thursday saying, quote, "President Trump is the leader of the Republican Party, full stop." Sure, that's not the kind of statement that he and his team really would have liked to have put out there. But do you think that was necessary?
I don't think it's necessary. Anybody that knows the two men, and I know both of them, I've been with both of them many times together. I think President Trump is clearly the leader. He's going to be the leader of the free world in 30 days. In fact, he's already the leader. If you look at what's happening with people coming to see him in Mar-a-Lago, the changes that have taken place, the European Union saying maybe you're going to go ahead now and supplant Russian LNG with U.S. LNG, the UK stepping up its defense budget in advance of President Trump coming into office. He already is the leader of the free world. And as we know, Joe Biden has gone AWOL.
You're comfortable with Elon Musk's role?
And media speculation or what the Democrats might say to try to get under people's skin doesn't bother me a bit. Elon Musk is, again, the richest person in the world. He's been extraordinarily successful building companies that are unlike any other. And I'm appreciative of the fact that President Trump has that type of talent available to advise him.
Senator, thank you so much for being here this morning. I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas.
Dana, nice to be with you.
Thank
Same,
you.
same to you. Happy holidays to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.